I say before, I have been living here for 2 years. I'm learning English, still learning
Yeah.
English. I study communication and I study 2 years of sociology.
Okay. To help kids, right? Sociology is to
No,
help kids. Oh,
no, this is what you say. I think is social worker.
social worker to
Yeah.
help. Yeah, that's to help kids and help people find
Uh-huh.
placement at homes and stuff. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah. And sociology is another thing.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
Oh,
And
yeah, yeah.
and I've been here. I am working as a waitress in a Mexican restaurant.
Okay.
I live in Long Beach,
Mm,
and I am very excited
mm,
to remember things that I studied like 20 years ago,
mm.
but it's like a challenge because it's in another language,
Yeah,
it's another words. It's I think it's totally different because the technology is like super different 20 years
yeah.
ago.
Mm. It
So
definitely.
I want to know, I want to learn. I I I yeah, all that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think I think I think it's very important for everybody to try to learn like as much as they can, because
Yes,
it
of course.
helps your brain grow, and learning helps increase your value.
Yeah.
So the more you learn, the more your value to society is. So I do a lot of things myself. I do real estate. I do photography,
Mm.
video photography and videos. As far like for family events or headshots or kids and things like that, as well as try to teach radio class. I do radio, so things like that. So yeah, you have to add as many things as you can to your arsenal, to bring as much value as yourself. Because with last year with the pandemic, like if you just had one job, a lot of people got laid off or furloughed.
Yeah, I get fired from my job.
Okay, but I see you bounce back, right?
Yeah, I have been take care of a baby
Okay,
like the whole year of the pandemic,
uh-huh.
and now I'm back in the restaurant.
Yeah, so that's good.
Yeah.
So hey, that's half the battle. Is just, but like you said, the more you know, the more you can bring to the table, and and now you can go look for this job or whatnot. So what's your goals? Is it just I know it's to get better with English and learn English, but are you going to college, or like I'm
Yeah, I'm first of all, I want to learn English like well,
yeah,
like good.
yeah,
So after that, I want to do, I don't know if high school or I don't know the like the
yeah.
process,
Mm.
but definitely I want to study something like here.
Okay. Well, look,
Yeah.
like I said, anything that I can help you with, I'll help you with. So,
Thank you.
I'll show you what you need to do or what courses or whatnot, and hey, that's what it's all about, just helping each other and figuring things out.
Thank you. And I have like the I don't know how to say it, but I'm going to describe it. I want to do it. I want to do a podcast.
Oh,
And I think this is going to help me.
okay. So that's why you're taking the course
Yeah.
to help you do the podcast. Okay. So I
Yeah.
can help you. That's the part I can help you with as far as figuring out a podcast
Okay.
and things like that. So a podcast is basically a radio show. It's basically a radio show of something that you choose to talk about, that you feel comfortable with talking about, and that you might have experience in, that you get to broadcast and help others. That's the most beneficial way, if you can help others go through some things that you might have went through, and you can speak on it from your experience, and that's how you grow your fan base or your audience.
Yes.
So So that's something we'll definitely talk about.
Okay.
Um, and maybe we could talk a little bit about that. So I'm glad, because I was going to ask you what's your expectations of the class. So like, what can I help you with? So let me just write that down. Podcast. Uh, so we'll go through some steps for that, because I have like 3 podcasts.
Okay.
So that's something maybe you can help me out with, and then you can kind of learn from.
Yes, of course.
Because with this kind of stuff, like the best way to learn is just, uh, as we say, like just get thrown in the fire.
Being
Like,
there,
yeah,
right?
you just have to be there. It's kind of like when you were a baby. I don't know if your mom or your dad. You like, how'd you learn how to swim? My dad threw me in the pool. You like,
Yeah,
yeah,
like this.
just throw him
I
in
am
there.
Mexican,
Yeah,
so my
yeah, yeah.
dad threw me at the pool.
Yeah. Our cultures are pretty much a lot of the same. We're treated like adults as kids, so we get thrown in the pool. But that's the same as podcast or radio. You just have to
Mhm.
dive into it. Uh,
Yeah,
so I'm glad we'll start talking a little about that. So the first thing you want to do with the podcast is all about, not as far as the communication, but it's all about the clarity. So like you want to be able to hear, like mic check, like everything has to be clear, because if it's not clear, then people tune away fast, because they
yeah,
can't hear you, they can't understand you. It has nothing to do with language, because people will sit there and listen and try to figure out what you're saying. If you have broken English, or if I have broken Spanish, people try to. But the clarity part, that's most important, that people can hear you. So once people can hear you, then you've already won the battle. Now they'll start tuning in. So do you understand what I mean by the clarity
yeah,
part? Yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah.
yeah, yeah.
It just has to be like, just it has to be loud. It has to be like just the where they can hear. They can't be like, what is he saying? Or what is she saying? Like then you'll lose your audience. You'll lose.
Yeah, I have been reading like a little articles,
Okay.
and it says like you have to buy like a good microphone
Yeah.
because of that. You have to be in a quiet place. You have to speak a little loud.
Yeah.
Like things like
Yeah. Yeah.
techniques,
Yeah.
no, technique
Technique. Technique
things.
is right. It's right. It's right.
Okay, because it's very important, because that that you the thing that you are saying, like that you have to speak uh like a little loud, clear. The sound has to be good. uh,
Yeah.
if if a podcast don't have like those kind of things,
Yeah.
people can change you like this, right?
Yeah, and they're exactly right. Those articles are great articles to read. Just read a couple different ones from a couple different books, and then you'll kind of figure out like, oh, okay, so it has to have, like you said, it has to have great sound, great clarity. That's the beginning of a podcast. Um, the mic part, that's very important. But but nowadays with podcast, you can record off Zoom right here. So this Zoom meeting right here could be a podcast. It could be your very first podcast, right? No, I'm being honest, because you could take the audio and take it off of the video. So I do podcasts, and we do Zooms. So because the microphones are very clear on our computers now, with the technology being up to date like it is, like we talked about earlier. So you could do Zoom, you could do podcasts from Zooms. So that's some things you want to do as far as the clarity. The second thing is you want to be comfortable. You want to talk to people that don't judge you. Do interviews with me, do interviews with kids or nieces, nephews, family members, and just ask them questions for 5 minutes.
I
Go ahead.
I'm sorry. I used to work in Mexico. I am from Guadalajara.
Guadalajara. Yeah.
Yeah, Jalisco.
Ali.
And I used to work in a school there,
Oh, okay.
like a Cerritos College.
Okay.
It's the same, but in Mexico.
Yeah, yeah.
And I was in charge of communications.
Oh.
So I know like a lot of teachers, a lot of
Hmm.
people who knows about like something subjects like no, they are like specialists.
Yeah.
especializar
Specialist. I got you.
specialist in the subject. So
Yes. So that's something you could contact those people and say, hey, you want to do a podcast and do a Zoom with them.
uh-huh.
That's a podcast. So you could like talk to each teacher. So just have it organized, write down a couple questions. Like that's Michelle, right?
Yeah. Mhm.
Hey, this is the Michelle podcast. You're listening to Michelle. I'm gonna have my guest, Mr. or Miss Alvarez or Smith. We'll be talking about um, problems in Mexico. Food shortages. Uh, you know, uh, Drug problems, of trafficking. Just I'm not saying like, but you could talk about anything. We could talk about the education in Mexico with the kids, the junior colleges. There's so many different subjects that people in America will want to hear, from you know from somebody who's actually talking to somebody communicating from a Mexico. Like, hey, what's going on down there right now? Like,
Or from people from who is here, no, like
yeah,
me, immigrants.
yeah, they want to hear about your transition. Like why did you come to America and what did you go through? I'm a big culture fan. Like I love like hearing about the culture and the like I said, the transition. Like what did you have to go through personally, to be here and like because you go through a lot of bull crap, right? Everybody
Mm.
goes through bull crap. So that's how you touch people and people listen like,
Yeah,
what? Like she went through that. You get what like stuff that
yeah.
make you almost kind of like, oh man, like, but it's but that's what makes people listen, right?
Mhm.
Because if you had a podcast and you told me like, oh, this story and this happened, I'd be like, dang, that makes me listen. So that's what you want to do to your podcast. You don't want
Yeah.
to like exaggerate it or lie about it, but you just want to be honest with people. And then people be like, dang, I'm gonna check out how you say it, like Bricio.
Bricio. Uh-huh.
Yo, I want to check out the Michelle Bricio podcast. Like, dang, So that's maybe one day we'll try. We'll we'll make it happen. We'll figure it out. So,
Yeah.
but
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's about the podcast. If you just want it to be genuine, you want to communicate. You want to start off with your fan base, and then the fan base will expand on its own. It will get bigger on its own. So you don't have to like force it. After you'll know because like we'll say, we'll talk about it. You start your podcast, get familiar, and talk to the people talk to the people that you feel comfortable with talking and interviewing, and then just start putting it up or putting it on YouTube. Just put it on YouTube and watch the views. The views will tell you if people are listening, and if they're not listening, then you kind of send it to friends and family, and then it should increase. If it's not increasing, then hey, then maybe I need to fix some things or correct some things. So, and we all go through that. We
Yeah.
all go through that.
Yeah. And I love to talk people, and I love to knew like more people. And so I think I want to do it, not because I want to the people listen like the things that the immigrants like me, like
Yeah.
we left like all our lives, we left all our families like behind,
Mhm.
no, just for living better, for no.
Yeah, no, that as it's supposed to.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, you have to tell that's the story that catches everybody. That's why like on Netflix, the documentaries, I watch movies and like nobody speaks English, but I just read it at the bottom because I'm like, oh snap, what happened? What
Yeah,
happened? So
yeah,
everybody wants to hear those stories. So and that's just what the world's about. Like it's a big mixing pot to where we love everybody's stories, and that's why podcasts have become so big because like the big corporations can't just decide, oh, you can't be on the radio, Michelle or Travon, you can't be on the radio. but this guy can be on the radio because he does what we tell him to do. Like we don't, but he's boring. We don't want to hear his story. We want to hear Michelle's story. We want to hear, you know, want to hear our stories and stuff like that.
And sharing that stories or my stories or other people's stories, I think is when you hear like somebody is being through like you do, it's like I think you feel like less alone
Yeah.
here, because I have a friend who has been living here in the United States like 20 years, and she is alone, and she's alone too. So it's like the being like a little or having empathy
Yeah.
with somebody,
Yeah.
no, and say like you are not alone here.
Yeah. Yeah.
We can help us. Maybe doing like a community or something.
All right. So we'll
Yeah,
go.
I'm going to get the Adobe Audition
Okay.
for
Yeah.
my computer.
Okay. You can get different versions of it. Just get whatever cheap version you could get.
Okay.
Uh, it's a beautiful program, and it's professional. We use this at the radio station.
Okay.
So then
And what the station you work?
it was called 93.5 K Day. It's in Los Angeles. You can, so if you go to 93.5, I worked at that radio station when you hear it.
Okay.
So then if we want to get out of here to go back to where we originally started, multi. So once again, we're back to where all our audio files are. So we have 3. I love how it separates it with the colors, because now I can drag this one over here, drag this one right here, and we'll work on a couple items. So
And you cannot put like 2 in the same place, right? Just one.
you can, it just helps you identify it to separate it. You can do whatever you want to. They'll still play like, okay, so now I'll show you, let's actually make something.
Okay.
So we'll go to my hard drive. So I tapped on, let me slow down. My hard drive's over here. It's called the Backup Plus. This is my main ingredient. Anybody takes this from me, they took my whole life away from me. So so with this, I have all my files saved.
Okay.
Let's go to production pieces. Production, past production, past production, drops. Okay, let's go. That's my. So let's drag this file in here, because this is what's called dry audio. Dry audio means it has no music or anything behind it.
Okay.
So, and it looks real tiny right here on our screen, but I'm gonna go back here and grab this bar, and I'm gonna shrink it.
Okay. To see the whole.
Yeah, to see my file. Then I'll drag it over here, just the file.
Okay.
Grab the file, and then I always like to start it with at the beginning so I know how long it is. So you can see this file is less than
5 seconds.
It's less than 5 seconds. It's quick.
Like 4 seconds,
Yeah,
right?
like 4 seconds. Good job.
Uh-huh.
So I'll grab this file. I kind of give it some space. I'll drop it down here, just because I like space in the front and I like space in the back, just in case I want to add some things to it.
Okay.
So we play
Like
this file.
2 seconds before.
Yeah. It doesn't matter. You could drag it. I just like a little bit of space. You could drag it over here, wherever you want to drag it. I just like a little space, so I know what I'm gonna do with it.
Okay.
So with this one right here, we'll go to the beginning of it. We'll play it.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real, chilling with T. Smith, and we in the mix.
So that's, have you heard of Cypress Hill?
Yeah.
So that's the guy from Cypress Hill.
Okay.
So we'll go to that. Let's say my boss tells me, or somebody tells me they need me to to so this is what's called the voiceover or the recording. It's nice, clear, it's crisp enough.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
But my boss says he wants to like dial it up a little bit. He wants to add some production to it. So then I'll go over here to my my files, and I'll say, okay, well, let's see what we can do. Past production. It's not. Where is my stuff at? Production pieces. Here we go. So these are all my little files that I keep organized. It's very important that you keep all your files organized so you know where they're at in case you have a timely project. You might like if you're just doing a podcast, but it's still a good habit to form while you're just thinking you're just doing a podcast. You never know what your podcast will turn into or your recordings will turn into. And someday you might get somebody saying, hey, I need this now. Like give it to me because I like Michelle, I want to, take this to a guy at a radio station and he wants to, he wants to listen to it in front of all his bosses at the big tables. They're thinking about giving you a radio show. So you got to go home and like, oh my God, where's my files? All this. So just keep it organized. And that's why I'm big on being organized because I've been in a lot of timely due projects. So
yeah, and you can find anything.
Yeah. So
like if somebody is in your house, you don't have your computer,
yeah.
You can call them and say, hey, you can go to this, to this, to this, to this, exactly. And you are going to find them.
And that's a perfect example because you could be at work. Let's say me and you at work, and then and you say, hey, Travon, can you go into my hard drive, the backup plus down here, go into, here we go, production pieces. There's a file in there called street products. Can you send me that real quick? Because I need to make something. So it's just easier like that because you have it memorized. So going back to the session, so now we have the dry audio. It's called dry audio. There's nothing there except for somebody talking.
Okay.
But if you put that on the radio, that's kind of like AM radio. AM radio is more boring. FM radio is like, okay, it's more moving. It's more colored. So I'll say, oh, well, let's put some stuff together. So I'll go through my sounds and I'll figure out which one I want to put in there. That's all right. I like that beginning of that. So what I'll do is just drag it in there.
Okay.
Right?
Uh-huh.
So now we drag it in there. So we have two audio files on top of each other, kind of what you were saying. So we'll play this from the beginning and see where we go from there.
Okay.
Yo, this is Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
But it kind of interrupts it. Everything is about timing. Like everything you hear on TV and the radio is like 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Like everything, you have to get it on the right timing. So that's the whole purpose of the audio and putting together pieces in our production classes and production webinars or whatnot. Mm-hmm. So you wanna just kind of play with it and then just drag this around. So I like my audio. If this right here is the intro, I want this to hit right after this. So let's hear that. But we still have to worry about this piece if it's interrupting some of this.
But you can cut it, right?
Yeah, we can cut it, but you just have to, we call it, just playing with it. You just have to play with it. And as long as it sounds right to your ear, then most likely it sounds right to everybody else's ear. But your ear cannot be biased. You can't be like, okay, I'm Michelle and I made it good. I made it so it's good. Or I'm Travon and everything I make is good. It doesn't work like that. You have to be non-biased. Like if I worked in the production department and let's say it's a Mexican restaurant commercial, I might not sound good on it, because I don't give it the right authenticity, but I might ask you to record it for me. Or if you had a soul food restaurant, and we're just being honest right here. If you had a soul food restaurant talking about barbecue and whatnot, you might say, Michelle, hey, Travon, can you voice this for me? You get what I'm saying? So you want the production to sound natural. Like
Yeah.
it sounds like I did it and it sounds like you did it because it's more authentic. So here we go right here. We'll play this. We have this intro piece ending right before this audio.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
I like that a little bit. So what we'll do is we can highlight this right here, and we can.
Can we hear like this before you cut it?
Oh,
I want to hear the.
Okay, let's hear it.
Oh.
So it's like a little bit of, it's just a little, it's just a little. So what I like it in there, but I don't want it to sound bigger than the audio, because the audio is important. We want our clientele to hear the audio, or our listeners or our customers to hear the audio. So what I'm going to do is I highlighted it, but there's a little bar right here that I'm familiar with. Whoever's you're listening or whoever's watching, they'll be familiar with it too. So you can just kind of lower this. You lower the volume on that so it doesn't overshadow the audio. So we kept this part the same. If I wanted to lower the whole thing, I'm sorry, let me go back. So if I ever make a mistake, I can undo. Oh, what is that? I don't even know what that is. What is that? What is that thing? What is this thing? Was it that big? Anyway. So we'll lower this again.
Okay.
We'll go back to our multi-track, which is everything included. So now we go.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
Now we're getting there. We're getting close, because this is nice and big and loud. The audio's good. This piece is just enough to add a highlight to your audio, and it doesn't overshadow it.
Yeah, you can hear.
Go ahead.
You can hear like, no?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you always want to leave something, like, you just leave a little bit of, it's fine. That's called a tail. So anything that drags on and fades out is like a tail. So it kind of.
The Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
It kind of just adds a little bit of information to the audio that just help it make it a little thicker than what it originally was. So I like that. Let's say your boss wants to say, hey, let's add some music to it, right? He was like, let's liven it up, because we're going to use this as a piece for, for our imaging department. And we'll talk a little bit about the difference between production and what's called imaging. So this is more, so this right here is just regular production, excuse me. So now we want to add a little bit of music to it. So now I got to go back. And now we got to find out where our music is. I keep my music in more production, instrumentals. Once again, I'm familiar with where all my products are, because I don't have time to waste. If I have time is money. If somebody's saying, hey, Michelle, I need you to produce something, you got to have it. Like, I only got $100 and you charge $50 an hour. You don't want to make it drag into 3 or 4 hours, because you only have an hour to waste with this. Not waste, but an hour to get it done. If you get it done sooner, then you won, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you
get it done, I can do more things. Yeah,
but you told them, hey, my name is Michelle. I do production. I charge $50 an hour. There's a 2-hour minimum, right? So they give you $100, Zelle you $100, PayPal you $100, but this might only take you 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Hey, that's your career. That's what you do. They can't argue it. So right here, once again, we have our sound effect, we have our audio. So I'll go through here and see if we have any. I'll do my search, put it in my, see if we have any Cypress Hill. Cypress Hill. Oh man, we ain't got no Cypress Hill. We ain't got no Cypress Hill. Let me go down here. Low ride. Let me see. Okay. Well, now, you know, as you listen to things, you come up with ideas. So that's the beautiful thing about audio. When you produce it, you're allowed to come up with any great idea you want to. So now I just came up with, I never planned on doing any of this with you. So we haven't talked about it. This is all from scratch. So now I see I have an instrumental right here. Oh no, yeah, an instrumental or something. Here we go. We'll drag that in. We'll play with it. See what it's talking about. And let me drag it in. Let's see what else we got down here. Instrumental. I don't see no instrumentals. I seen intro clean. So I'm just going to shrink this and get this out of our way.
Okay.
Let's see what this. So I'm a solo this file. So that'll quiet the other files. And let me just hear what this is talking about. Okay, that's a song that everybody's familiar with that listens to Cypress Hill.
Okay. So
me already having the experience I have, I kind of know where I'm going with this. As soon as I heard that so it says a clean intro. So that means there's going to be an instrumental in the beginning and then the song's going to come on. This is made for a DJ. So what I'm going to do is find out exactly where he starts talking. I'm going to solo it again. He starts talking right here.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to unsolo it. I'm going to move this. But I remember exactly where he started talking. So if this comes out right, the audio intro is right here. The small little color pieces right here that highlights the audio. The audio is right here.
Mm-hmm.
The instrumental should start right here, and he should start rapping right here.
With the music.
With the music. So now we might be called, now we're somewhat professionals if we get this right. Here we go.
Yo, it's the Buddha Master Be Real, chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Hello, my name is Dr. Green.
Now it sounds like we know what we're doing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So we don't want to play the whole song because of the fact that we don't got, I mean, we're not in the car or anything. We're not trying to drive through Los Angeles or Long Beach. So what we're going to do is we're going to shrink. Oh, let me go back. I'm moving too fast for you and the people that may not be familiar. So bring my bar at the top and I can grab it. The Adobe Audition gives you a highlight. It gives you like a little box. You see its top, this little red thing right here. And you can tell it's red. And it has like a top, a side, and a bottom.
Uh-huh.
It's gonna let me drag it.
Okay.
So I can shrink it. So let me take my menu bar, put it over here, and let me shrink it. Oh, sorry. Just shrink it. And we just want
So
a
you
little.
are like cutting or making it small?
Yeah, just cutting or making it small is the same thing. So we want to take it right here.
Okay.
We'll take it about at, right here.
Oh.
Now this box right here is a great feature. Look, I think it even pops up. It's called a fade out.
Okay.
So I can make a small fade out where it's like it kind of like it transitions, or I can make a crisp fade out and I can just make it a straight line.
Like quick.
But the bigger the angle is, the better the smoother it is. Okay. We don't want to just fade it out like that. You want to fade it out like about right there, right? So now we go back to see the audio. It's important to keep listening to it over and over because your ear won't lie to you. If there's something wrong with it, it'll start jumping out at you. If you believe me, if you listen to something 10 to 15 times, it'll tell you like, hey, that part didn't sound right. If you have to keep convincing yourself it sounds right, it's not right. When you hear it, just like we heard this, it came out, both of us shook our head, that means it sounds right. So here we go. We're gonna play it from the top.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master, Be Real, chilling with T. Smith, and we in the mix. Hello, my name is Dr. Green Thumb. I'd like to tell you just where I'm from, in the hills where the trees go wild with green fields.
So it fades out.
Okay.
So now, but I can't email this to you because these are WAV files. It's in a program. So once again, all software companies allow this. It's not just, I don't get sponsored by Adobe Audition or anything. It's just something I feel very comfortable using. I'm not saying it's the best program, but it's something I'm very comfortable using, I'm familiar with, and it allows me to work at a fast pace. So during my time in the radio station, I used to have from anywhere from 50 commercials to 100 commercials during a day. I don't have time to play around a lot. I don't have time to teach anybody anything there because I'm working in a high, fast-paced world. So therefore, you just have to find whatever program, your program of choice or whoever's watching program of choice might be different, but whatever it is, it has to sound professional. It has to be fast. So what we're gonna do right now, as we discussed, now I need to email this to you. You're my boss. Your boss said, hey, I need that in 15 minutes, man. Hurry up. What's taking so long? Because the phones are always ringing. There's what's called account executives that have commercials, right? So they get paid commission from their commercials. So they're like, hey, did you do my commercial? Can you hurry up? And then you say, well, I got about 15, I got a whole pad of list of things I have to do. And they're like, well, can you move mine to the top? And sometimes it comes with perks. Sometimes they'll pop back there and they'll say, here goes $100. Can you do mine now? Hey, yes, I can. $100, right? We're right on it. I'm right on it. So those are the perks of, of being the creator and the controller of, of what's going on. But once again, my boss just said, hey man, you're back there talking about how much money you can make. Hurry up and get that to me. So what we do is we put that red line there. Now, instead of putting that red, this item right here, where it's red again, we're just gonna leave it at a little I, and we're gonna highlight the whole thing. So we're just highlighting the part that we need. Then I go up here to edit, which is the wrong one, and it's a bad instructor. I'm gonna go to multi-track. Multi-track means we're in multi-track, and I'm gonna go down to mix down session. I need this mixed down because I need it to be able to send it to my boss now. He has somebody who's waiting for it for whatever particular reason. That's not my, that's not part of my pay scale. My pay scale is to produce it and get it out ASAP. So remember what I talked about. We highlighted the time of the piece that we produced. And that's important because guess what? If I have one session up, I might say, oh, this is for account. Remember I said I have account executives waiting. This might be the account executive 1. There might be another session right here for account executive 2. So my whole day is broken up. So this is our first job of the day. So I'm gonna leave this up all day just in case they contact me back and say, hey, he loves it, but change the music. Or he loves it, but can you add some effects to the audio? So we want to keep that. So I'm gonna highlight this.
And you can save it like this, or
Yeah.
you save it like a one only audio.
Yeah. So that's what we're gonna do right now.
Oh,
I can do both. So I
okay.
save my session every time I do a new session because just in case the computer generator goes down or the lights go out in the city, I don't want to be like, dang, I got to remake everything. Because what if it's 4 o'clock and you're off at 5? And now you need something from the beginning of the day and the computer shuts down for whatever reason. So you want to save it. I save my sessions after every time I produce it, and I save my audio file, which we're gonna do right now, every time, of course, after we produce it.
Okay.
So once again, we got the icon, we got the icon eye, we highlight it. We go to multi-track. We're going to go to mix down session to a new file. I'm going to put, because you can say the entire select session. The entire session means everything from the day. I don't need to mix down everything from the day. I just need to mix down what time I have highlighted. So I mix down the time I have highlighted.
From 0 to
Yeah.
14.
0 to 14. So now it puts it in one file. Now let me take off. See, I'm working too fast. So I go undo, delete. Now let's just clip off. You know how it is, just clip off the beginning just to make it look neat. It's just something that I like. You don't want somebody to hear audio and it's blank for 4 seconds. They're gonna be like, where the hell is the audio? Where's it at? And then it comes on in the middle of talking. So you just eliminate all the extra things that could happen. And just like I eliminate the end part. So now this is our same file. Once again, remember I told you, when you produce something, you probably listen to it about 10 or 15 times. I just want to make sure.
And why is like two of the audio?
Yeah. So look, left ear, right ear. So if you have headphones on, right, you can mute the right. Now the right, you can hear it. So on your computer from home right now, watch. You should hear this out your right speaker.
Yo, it's the Buddha Master, Be Real, chilling with T. Smith, and we in the mix.
You should have only heard that on your right speaker. Okay. So if I mute that, now you should only hear it in your left speaker.
Yo, it's the Buddha Master, Be Real, chilling with T. Smith, and we in the mix.
Was one playing in the left and one playing in the right? It was?
Or maybe, yeah, and you can do like half and half?
Yeah, you can. It just, once again, you're, Michelle, you're the creator. Okay. You can create, so you can put, let's say if we made a podcast, let me take that off. If we made a podcast and you were talking right here at the top, right? So on one ear, on your left side, you'll hear Michelle talking, right? Mm-hmm. But on the right side, guess what? You had soft music playing. Mm-hmm. You can be the creator of your own destiny. It just depends on what you like. Now, if the audience doesn't like it, then that's why there's ways to figure out that. They'll let you know via YouTube comments or whatever comment category they can contact you with, whether it's email, Twitter, Instagram, whatever. But like, hey, I love your show, but I only hear you in one ear, on my left ear, but I'm deaf in my left ear. In my right ear, all I hear is the music. So that's why you put the music and the audio in both ears.
But have you seen? I'm sorry. No. There's some videos on YouTube like porn audio. I don't know the name, but you can see them. But it's the sound. They eat in a microphone. They crush things like paper, like plastic, sand, and you can hear all that. Like if they start like in this ear and it comes like here, and you can hear like it's moving.
Yeah, so those are different features in the program. And they have so let's say if we wanted to put a certain particular sound and it sounded like it was moving around your head, like you could put a car zoom, but you only put that on. So that's what, let's go back. Let me save this first and then we'll go back and talk about that. So right now, remember our boss is saying, hey, Travon, shut up and give me the file. I need the file because this guy has a lot of money. So we go down to file, save as. It says user Mac desktop, but I want to save it as an MP3. The reason why MP3 is it's easy to email. I actually like what we did, so I'm gonna actually save it for myself. Okay. So I'm gonna go Cypress Hill, intro, T. Smith, that's me. And I'm gonna put the date, so now I'm gonna remember you because we made this together. Today is the, my bad with the date.
7.
Today's the 7th. So I always date everything.
Oh, okay.
So I know exactly when I did it, even if I emailed it, because the email might get erased sometime down the line, but the audio will be on my hard drive. So I save it to okay. I shrink this, the Adobe Audition. Here's our file. I'm about to email it.
Yo, it's the Buddha Master, Be Real, chilling with T. Smith, and we in the mix. Hello, my name is Dr. Green Thumb. I'd like to tell you just where I'm from, in the hills where the trees go wild with me, kill the.
Now we're ready to send it. I go to my backup plus, production, where's my drops at? My drops up here, it always unorganized, and I just drag it in there. Now I have it saved. Of course, like we were talking about in role playing, I would send that to my boss, but I'm good now, right? So let's go back and talk about what you're talking about. So with this right here, we go back to multi-track. Now, we would highlight this because you want to say, oh, I want the effect. So we would go to effects. It's easy with the program. We go to effects. You just have to find the one effect that you're looking for. So amplitude and compression is about making the voice big or making the voice small or making the voice thicker. So what if
I don't know what you mean with like big, like loud?
Not louder.
Okay.
Louder or, tinier or thicker. Like I want to thicken up your voice and add, make it thicker. So those are some of the examples in there, right? I'll go through it and then delay and echo. That means echo. So look, so we'll go here, we'll put an echo. Let's go to our file. We got this space right here. I don't have too much space. So I'm gonna copy this blank space, copy. And I'm just gonna make more space. It's just a silly thing you have to do sometimes. And I'm gonna paste blank space. So I'm just gonna paste blank space. Then I'm gonna copy this again because I wanna leave enough room for an echo.
Okay.
Right now it's not enough room for an echo. So I'm just copying and pasting blank space. All right, but every time it gets bigger, copy. It's just little techniques. It seems silly, but once you start playing with this, you start having fun, and it doesn't bother me to sit here and do little things like this because you want to get familiar with your work. You want to get familiar with your software, and these are all the things you do to get familiar with it. It's just taking your time and playing with things. Like I really enjoy doing production. So now we have all this space, right? Now that's a big enough space for echo. Mm-hmm. So we have our icon. We're gonna highlight that all the way to the end, right? And these are all the things we're teaching, like Radio 101. You guys can, I'll post this up on the YouTube channel. You have a copy of it. So up here, it says delicate whispers. That's one of my favorite features. So I put that in there and then I say apply. Oh, so watch. We'll start it back. We never want to start it right here. We want to kind of gradually get into it and hear what it's going to sound like.
T. Smith and we in the mix.
You see, it's okay. So maybe you didn't like that. Maybe so. Here we go.
Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
So it's like he really didn't say nothing. I'm not a big fan of that one right there. Undo echo. So we go back to our, where's our echo thing? It disappeared? No, that's the sounds. So I keep everything, you know, shrunk at the bottom. We lost our sounds. Let me go back and get it. So once again, you don't have that much time, so you have to know where your stuff's at. So I go to effects. We go back to filtering. Oh no, I'm sorry. We was at delay and EQ. I mean echo. Here goes echo. I didn't like that whispers. I didn't like that. Let's do analog delay. And then we hit apply. Whatever we choose, this is the effects that it will add to whatever's highlighted. Then you just put apply.
But it's not just like a sound, right? It's a sound, but according the audio.
Yeah, exactly. So as you can see, we had this highlighted was blank. So whatever effect that we added, it added on this little piece right here. Let's hear what this says. Once again, we start from a little ways back so we can gradually get into it and hear what it does.
T Smith, and we in the mix.
I don't like that. So I think I know what I'm doing wrong. I just have this, and all this is saying is, so I highlighted the wrong piece. So these are things that you find out. So the reason why it's only highlighting that is because we don't have a big enough piece. So let me go, hold on. Undo, delete. Let's do this right here. Let's shrink the volume so I don't have to delete it. Just make it no volume. Let's highlight this more and get more space. Copy. Go to the end of the file. Add the, we're gonna paste. And all we're doing is just making blank space. Because we need room in order to add our echo. And then, like I said, all this you're recording it so you can see it and take your time and write notes. So now let's start our echo right here.
T Smith, and we in the mix.
I want to do
we in the mix.
I want to do we in the mix. I want that to echo.
We in the mix.
We in the mix. Let's echo that. Let's see how that goes. So I go back up here to effects. And we're still getting to your question about, you know, making the sound change and stuff. But I just want to walk you through the effects menu. Yeah. Let's go echo. Now let's try that whispers. I didn't like it before because I actually had the wrong thing highlighted. Now let's go apply, because we selected our effects that we want to use. It's organized it the way it needs to in order to get that effect. Okay, now we're in business. Here we go. Start it back a little bit.
Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
Sounds better.
Sounds better, right?
Yeah.
And that's just something you can do to highlight your audio. Like, you know, when you end your show, like this is Michelle. Or no, I'm sorry. So you'll say, this is Michelle, and I'll see you guys next week. And then you just, it's just little things you can do.
Like the word you want to people notice, right?
Yeah, make it noticed, exactly. So we'll go back to our file. Now we went through the echo. Let's find, where is that? I'm not a big, the effect you're talking about, I don't really use that effect that much. So let's see where it's at, filters, and scientific filter. Let's see.
Bill chilling with T Smith, and we in the.
So you guys got to forgive me. Let me play with it. Let me play with my filters. I know it has to do with, Time and pitch. Nope, not that one. See, there's so many. Oh, here we go. There's so many different filters where you can change your audio, but you'll start memorizing them. The more and more you use your program, and you'll say, "Hey, I want to try that," or like I might be in the room with you, and you might, be my assistant. Or I might be in your system, like, "Hey, Travon, can you change the filter? Because I heard it on this show and it does all this." And I'll be like, "Well, crap, let's try it." So we go up here, and it says 180-degree flip. No, here we go. A linear shift of 360 degrees. So that's what we want to try.
Mix.
Hold on, let's try. Hold on. Let me go back and highlight the whole thing. So we're going to go highlight this whole thing. Go back to effects. Now, once again, I memorized exactly where I got to go. Hopefully, I don't let you down. What was that? Modulation. Dang, what was that? Scientific filter? Nah, I didn't forgot where I was at. See, that's why it's important to memorize exactly where everything is at so you don't waste time when creating. What was that at? There we go. So now I'm going to remember this. Stereo imagery graphic phase shifter.
Okay.
Now it should say 360 in here. Wow. Great memory, right? Right. There we go. Apply. There we go. Let's play it.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
I really didn't hear nothing. Let's undo that. Excuse me. Go back to effects. Stereo imagery. Graphic phase equal. Let's try something else. Let's go 180 degrees.
The Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
Nah, see,
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith.
And maybe sometimes, to be honest with you, so when you work in a radio environment, if you're working from a laptop, you might not hear everything the audio is doing. So this might, if you had headphones on right now, it might be spinning around in the headphone because it'll go from the right ear to the left ear or the left ear to the right ear to let you know it's spinning. So
I have headphones.
But I don't know if we'll hear it at the same time. You go ahead, you can plug in your headphones and see if you hear it. And then I'll play with it. Let's go down here. Stereo imagery. Let's see the preset. All right, I'm gonna add this and I'm gonna play it for you.
And we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix.
Did you hear anything
Yo, this
different?
Is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T.
No, they are not.
Not. Okay.
Ahí está.
It's all right. We'll see. No, we don't want to use those effects. Graphic phase. Where is this thing? I know I didn't used it before. Let's go. Let's go this one. Here we go.
Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith, and we in the mix. Yo, this is the Buddha Master Be Real chilling with T Smith.
Nothing? It didn't do anything? I can't hear you. Unplug your headphones. You have to unplug your headphones. Unplug them. Unplug your headphones. You have to unplug your headphones. Unplug them. These right here. Unplug it. Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Uh, I can hear like clearly in
Yeah.
the headphones, but I cannot like uh see or hear the difference on the
Okay.
effects
And
that you are doing.
you know what? So that's something you have to go through with your software, because in certain software companies, they specialize in certain things. So that might be the best that it does on this software, because I've never really played with the 360 because I need everything to be up in front. 360 means some things fade in and out. So that's something
Okay.
that I don't usually work with. But
Okay.
every software has different features. Now you're gonna make me. I'm gonna go back and look for it, and after I post this, I'll leave a comment. End it under the YouTube if I find it, or if I don't find it, and let you guys know that's something that Adobe Audition might need to work on, or it's something. And yeah, like I said, remember in the beginning I said don't be a biased production person. So I'm just not familiar with that tool, so I have to go back and actually look for it, and maybe it's under a different effect. But for the main purpose of it, whatever you create, it's all right. Whatever style you have, it's all right, because that's part of your creativeness. But the whole point is, we've produced the piece, we've emailed it to our boss. Hey, we've done our job for the day. So
And maybe there's like things or sounds that is not like you can hear like really hear, just like it's like a really slow sound
yeah,
that is there, but you cannot notice like consciously,
yeah, consciously.
right?
But
Mm-hmm.
so when you were listening, there's something that you did that I always do. Whenever I listen, I always close my eyes. It
Okay.
just helps me. It helps me hear better. So in the studios, and whether you're in a podcast studio or a radio station, I close my eyes because I want to hear it without people talking to me or looking at me. And then I'm like, oh, I hear it, I hear it, because I'm big on sound. I love great production. Um, I love podcasts. Like I said, I have the information. Have the information posted where people can listen to the podcast that I do, the production I do, and they're all not saying they're great shows because of me. They're great shows because of the guests and the information, and the testimonies, and like we talked about with yours, the sharing of the importance of the stories.
Yeah, but the technical things,
Yeah,
no, they have
they,
to be like strong.
yeah, they and I'm pretty good at that. So I make sure everything that I put out or I'm a part of is definitely strong on the technical part. So I'm fortunate with that. But like I said, you have my information. Anything I can help you with. If you want to help me out with some of my podcasts or whatnot, I'll check on your availability. And I mean, I pretty much showed you everything that I could show you in the time frame that without getting too technical, because it's an online class. If we were in class, we could sit there all day, and I could show you this and that. But online, it's like it's only so much I could show you. But I mean, you went through production 101, and you helped me. Like, I produced something with you that I'm gonna keep. So
Okay.
I'm gonna keep that little piece, and I'll be using that sometime down the line. So that's great work today. That's great
Yeah.
work today. High five, high five. Yeah,
And maybe I can like write
yeah.
like I don't know if the name of the podcast, but I can do like the background of the podcast,
Yeah.
the description,
So
and
that'll be your homework. That'll be
uh-huh.
your homework. So give it about a week. Come up with the name of your podcast. Come up with some ideas about your as they call it, your mission statement. Your mission statement is what the podcast will always be about. No matter who your guest is, no matter what subjects you might, pick at, but it's always going to be about one particular bubble. So the podcast might be, but the bubble might be Michelle, might be you. And then you have all the features about you, but just have that bubble of what you're always kind of resort back to. You get like let's say like one of my podcasts is about real estate. So we could talk about buying houses, we could talk about getting financed, we could talk about the different cultures trying to buy houses, we could talk about people losing houses, we could talk about the economy, how people losing their jobs, we could talk about the pandemic, and the stock markets are messed up, but it always comes back to real estate.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Everything we talk about comes back to real estate. So that's just one of my shows. Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to talk about being a woman, an immigrant woman, and another country. Like that is the subject, no?
Okay, that's fine.
Because I can talk about immigration. I can talk about rights. I can talk about love. I
Ed-
can talk about
education.
friendship.
Yeah,
I can talk about money. I
yeah.
can talk about rights. I don't know, like so many things that I myself I have like many doubts.
Okay. So that's what your homework is, to come up with the title of a show, and then to write down, let's say, the first 15 shows, what they'll be about. Right? Because even if you don't use it, it'll help your mind create different ideas. And even if you don't use the 15 shows, by you writing down 15, you'll have a good 7 or 8 that'll be real good. You get what
Okay.
I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even if you just blurt out 15, we know within that 15, at least half of them are going to be great ideas, because now you can shrink the 15 down to 8, or
Yeah.
even combine a couple. Get what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Like
So
the betters, right?
yeah. So as long the most important part is, as long as you have an idea of what you're going to talk about, then everybody else at least has a fair opportunity to want to listen.
Yeah.
But if you don't know what you're going to talk about, then nobody's going to want to listen. So that's the whole. So write down a title of the show, and write down the first 15 shows, what they'll be about. And then from that, we'll come up with, after we see the 15 shows, we'll say, oh, we know exactly what the show is about.
Okay.
Sometimes you know how you ever heard the phrase, two eyes are better than one. So when
Yeah.
like when you go into a room, you might like, everybody was there nice, and I went with you, and I'm like, nah, Michelle, everybody was like, after you finish talking, they rolled their eyes. You be like, what? So that's why you come down with the ideas, and then I'll look at it, be like, oh, I know exactly what you want to talk about.
Okay. Yeah.
Like I can see you want to talk about this specific subject, because it's this specific subject deals with all 15 of these. You see what I'm saying? So, and that's how we'll figure
Yeah,
it out.
I
But
like it.
you like it? So
Sí.
hopefully I did you justice for today. I helped you out for the day somehow, some way.
No,
So,
yes, of course, of
okay.
course. And I'm going to do my homework.
Okay. And then
And
make
next
sure
week
yeah.
I will have the program
Okay.
and the name and the statement,
Yeah.
mission statement.
Mission statement.
And the 15 names of the 15 first
Titles. And then you can email me or text me, and then we'll do another Zoom. So I'm gonna post this. I'm gonna put this on my YouTube page. Is that all right with you or no?
Yeah, it's okay.
Okay. We're gonna call it Radio 101. My first, episode with Michelle. So we'll be going over, things to how to do radio, podcast, and information like that. So now you can tell your friends, hey, I did a show already. So there we go. So make sure you I put in the chat box my information. Make sure you get all that or screenshot it. And
Yeah, I'm writing it down.
And enjoy your day.
Okay.
And hey, we had a great show today, right? All right.
We.
Yeah, we. I said we.
Oh,
So let me
I'm
know if you.
really excited.
No problem. That's what we're here for, to help any and everybody out. If you need help with your podcast or production or radio, just let me know in the comments below. We'll lead us up on the YouTube channel or contact Michelle. She'll be helping me out. Here we go.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, yeah,
All
yeah.
right. You have a great day, but don't hesitate to let me know if you need anything. Okay.
Okay.
All
Thank
right.
you,
Enjoy it.
Trevon.
Enjoy your day. You got out of class
Okay.
early. Don't tell nobody. See?
Okay.
All right. Have a
Okay.
good one. All right. Bye bye.
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 Thank you.
No problem. You have a great one.